philosophical perspectives of the self. To begin, may I request someone to lead a prayer. Let me call in Arabis, Eliza.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, go ahead.
Let us put ourselves to the holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you. So I came a little bit late because I was opening another Google Classroom. I thought that was my class na. So they said, Ma'am, Thursday pa man ta mag-meet tayo. Hindi, nakalimot ko. Anyway, so let's proceed. This is the first topic on the various perspectives of the self. So today we're going to discuss the different views of the philosophers in answering the question, who am I? So our objectives are to differentiate the various perspectives of philosophy in defining the self. Then we'll create a definition of self based on one of the philosophers, and we integrate the definition of self through a song interpretation. So there will be a song talking about song. I'd like you to listen to a song. So this is one of the famous songs you've heard, maybe one of the soundtrack of the movie. And afterwards, we are going to do something out from the song. So first, we'll listen to the song attentively. I'd like you to, when you listen, I'd like you to feel the music and the rhythm. At the same time, I'd like you to understand the meaning of each word of the lyric of the song. So the title is Reflection, interpreted by Christina Aguilera from the movie Mulan. Here's the song. But you'll never know every day. It's as if I could. Now I see, if I wear a mask, I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. Is that girl I see, staring straight back at me? When will my reflection. So here's this music brought to you by Chuchu. Okay, so let's proceed. Let us going to dissect the song. So the last line or the last statement says that, thank you for watching. Okay, the last statement says, when will my reflection show who I am inside? So this is a question. This line or this question implies that there is a troubled heart, right, who is confused on when she's going to show who really she is. And we might be asking, why is that so? No? Why she is confused on when to show her real self. And this is also added that with another line says that I won't pretend that I'm someone else for all time. Meaning that she's been pretending to be somebody else, but she is supposed not to do that for the whole period of her life. Okay? So you boil down to the question again, ano ka? Why is it that she's trying to pretend, she's trying to deceive everyone of who she is? Another line here says that added, no, that magnify the troubled heart. Why must we all conceal what we think, how we feel? Must there be a secret me that I'm forced to hide? So there's something inside that is bothering her. Now she wanted to show who she really is. However, there are certain factors or forces that tries to stop her from doing so. And she's trying to hide it. Maybe she's protecting something. And maybe she's afraid. Maybe there's a pressure. Or maybe there's a life that is at stake, or she may be in danger. That's why she's concealing herself. Okay. And deep inside, she really wanted to be free. So that's why she said, there's a heart that must be free to fly, that burns, no? Yung ganang naglagiting, no? Nag-init kayo. The need to know the reason why. And then, who is that girl staring straight back at me? So meaning she doesn't know herself. Because when you look at the mirror, of course, what you see is your face, your own face. But she doesn't know who she is. Maybe because it's a different reflection on what she saw, on what she's seeing on her mirror. But somehow I will show the world what's inside my heart and be loved for who I am. Somehow, meaning to say that there must be a way that she's able to show her heart, who she really is. And this is the line that I really love. Now I see if I wear a mask, I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. Maybe it could deceive somebody, maybe they will think that's who I am, but it's not really me. Because deep down, I know who I am. So she knows who she is, but she cannot show it. Okay? And this is now we're going to discover why. No? So let's relate the song to the movie Mulan. So if you have seen it, there are 4 versions of Mulan. Consistently, the 4 versions was true to the story, This is actually an inspired story from a real story, from one of the historic woman in China. So Mulan is just a screen name, It's just a name given. But it's not actually Mulan now. It's a different name. It's the story of a girl who fought for the war. Okay? So there was an attack on her country and they're called to defend their country. All men are requested to defend the country, but in the case of Mulan, in the village of Mulan, in the family, her father cannot do it because her father is ill, crippled, and old. And there are only two women or daughters in the family, so she has to step up and represent the family and make her family proud. But no. However, the family in the Chinese culture, women are not allowed to fight. Okay, only men. Women are supposedly be at home, taking care of the kids, taking care of the family, marrying someone. But but she's not like that. She's a leader. She's a adventurous person. She's a risk taker. That's who she is. And she wanted to be part of a historic event, and she wanted to be to make the family proud by joining the cause of fighting against the enemy. Now, along the way, she joined the war. They thought that she is a he. However, one of these days, she was discovered that she's really a woman. And they thought that they're gonna punish her or maybe put her to death, or maybe the family would be in danger because of what she did. But it's a turning point to everybody, especially to the Chinese Empire, that a woman can have an opportunity to be part of such endeavor like war. So the woman Mulan was given a reward or an honor by the emperor. So that's the sign that she prayed for, that somehow the world will gonna show, she's gonna show to the world who she is and be loved for who she is. So in relation to ourselves, it might be like that, no? We might be hiding something inside, and we're afraid that our parents will get mad, our parents will not accept us, or people are surrounding us will not accept us for who we are. That's why we try to hide. That's why we wanted to be me, but to be yourself, but you can't, no? Despite of your effort to be who you really are. Okay, so in that music, I'd like you to choose which line is you considered that struck you most. Which among the lines that struck you most? Not necessarily your favorite, but which one that for me marabag naigo jud ko ani nga linya. Okay, and write down on the chat box. And below the line na na-choose nimo, explain ngano kana nga line ang nakapastruck nimo. Okay? Nag-guess in your class? Hello?
Yes, miss.
Sige. I'll give you 5 minutes to write down your answers on the chat box. Go ahead. 5 minutes. So, to go back to the song, I'd like you to open to another window siguro or tab to get the lyric of the song. Okay? Tapos sa to kung nga, nindot nagkuhan yun mo ba na tanaw mo sa lyric ko niya. Uy, kaning nindot siya nga line. Sige, you can browse the lyric of the song and then try to check which ones that struck you most and write an explanation. A short lang, no? Short explanation. Like may ka nga, katong, who is the girl I see staring stick back at me? Matay mong line. Below that, may explain. Struck ko ani kay, na kana, ako sad nga nasad ko, no? Wala ko kailas akong kagalingon. Nagsigilan kong live up to the expectation of other people. Na. Isuwat na ninyo. Sige, go ahead. I'll give you time. ay nag-post. Let me read your answers. Here, si Renalyn, look at me. You may think you see her really, but you'll never know me. Every day is as if I play. These are the lines that I choose because I can return. I cannot say that somebody truly know me, even myself, for I'm constantly changing every day because of the new things experience and the lessons I learn. I believe that you only know yourself, sensibility, that the true identity is based on her thoughts and not on actions. Who I really am, that I often tend to copy others in such a way instead of discovering who I am. People laugh at my imperfections because I'm different from them. But I realize that every difference we had from others is an opportunity for growth of ourselves. Being different makes you unique and makes you stand out from the crowd. That's right. It is beautiful to be different while doing your best in life. Yeah, I believe so. This line struck in my mind because I see myself on this line that I want to show to the world. Be appreciated and accepted. No matter what decisions I take that may or may not have such consequences in my life, I should still be loved as for who I am. That's the most human thing we can do. I agree. Freedom to be ourselves must be considered and must be free to act according to perception of someone else. Oh, so sad, Jandel. Because it's to remember when I was still a child, happiness comes to simple, small things. As you grow older, obtaining happiness is hard to achieve. Yeah, maybe happiness is because maybe there are things that other things that make you happy. Not myself, June Miss. Not to yourself that every has thought myself will be true to people who accept my genius. Mm. I often hide my true self because I'm afraid that people see me for who I truly am and they will judge me. This is true because as a person, there are things that used to hide because of the past experiences that I want to forget, which sometimes lead me to forget who I really am. That's so sad. Okay. So I'm quite happy with your sharing, no? Because it's common that you have the same experience, that the experiences of Mulan resonated in your own experiences as well. So meaning to say that we all experience to have a troubled heart, to deceive somebody, showing which is not, no? Just to please everyone, just to meet their expectation, just to stand up to their standards, but yet deep inside you're not happy with it, no? So that's why you kept on asking yourself, when will my reflection show who I am inside? Well, someday, no? One of these days, maybe through this subject, we'll be able to have this courage and bravery to really show who we really are. We should not be afraid of other people's judgment. because that's you, no? You are in charge of yourself, of your body, of your family. So nobody else can dictate what you want to do. So just be you. Okay? Thank you for that sharing. Okay, those who haven't, please continue doing so. So let's start with the first guy here. We have this. The name of this guy is Socrates. So Socrates is the very first to study about the self. So he's considered the father of modern philosophy, father of all sciences, actually, no? Father of psychology, father of botany, zoology, and many other field or discipline in science. And for him, knowing oneself takes a lot of procedure or process. So he introduced to us the four processes of self-discovery. These are introspection, observation, feedback, and assessment tools. Introspection means you're going to inspect yourself within. Intro, within, inspection, to inspect. And then it's somehow like reflection. We have observation, so you see people around, you see their behaviors, maybe you see yourself in them. That's why you have observed. Then feedback. Okay, you can ask feedback from other people or their comments about you. So you should also be open, with their comments because it could help us. Sometimes we're no longer aware that we're doing that. We think kanang dili tumao ikaw, pero actually mao gid ito ikaw, no? Sometimes di mo nako ang ana, defensive na ba? Defensive na siya. That's why feedback is very important. So kung ang tao na-observe na niya consistently ingon ana ka, most probably that's who you are. Even though you say that, di man ko ingon ana. So we will try to be accepting, try to be more open to other people's feedback. Then assessment tools. So before, nana di assessment tools sa una ma, sa ilang Socrates ka time. Yeah, a different way. Sila yung mga instruments, to know themselves. Okay, not like what we have today that we have these psychological exams, psychological personality test, IQ test, EQ test to know more about us, about ourselves. Okay, and he is the one, who popularized the dictum, know thyself. It's really a directive. It's a mandate that we have to know ourselves. Why? Why we have to know ourselves? Knowledge of oneself means to be wise. So you have wisdom. Because an unexamined life is not worth living. An unexamined life is not worth living. Imagine that. So, ingon siya nga, kung ang kinabuhi ko, wala ni mo nagi, ang imong self, wala ni mo try to understand, wala ni mo gituki-tuki, wala'y pili. That's why Socrates stood for his principle that you have to know everything about yourself. Don't you know that he was being condemned to death because of his interest to seek for truth? He was being ostracized. He was being despised by the society because they said that he's crazy, he's weird, he's trying to brainwash the youth. He was trying to create and creating a school and sharing what he discovered about life. He tried to ask what's inside of us, what's inside your heart, what's inside the galaxy, why am I like this, why like that. All those endeavors that he discovered, he tried to share this especially to the youth, because the youth are very interested to know things. And his inquisitiveness, his being inquisitive, ni Socrates makes him in danger, put him in danger because he was killed. Sad to say. And kita karon, we are thankful, no? We are indebted to him for his efforts to study. But before, mga tao during his society, yung contemporary, wala, no? Marag weird siya, marag lahi siya, no? Para nila. Sad to say. Ang mga tao, unconventional kaayo ba? Para nila, unconventional kaayo si Socrates. So for Socrates, the self is not just physical, but also psyche. So dualistic siya. Na siya physical, na siya soul. Ang soul, mawala. Ang body mawala, mamatay. So ang psyche or soul, psyche is a Greek word for soul. Ang psyche magpabilin, permanent siya. So the soul is perfect and permanent, the body is imperfect and permanent. And he said that you can achieve knowing oneself through the use of the Socratic method. Katong Socratic method, katong processes of self-discovery, the observation, feedbacking, assessment tool, o katong introspection. Somehow, in a layman's term, ang Socratic method, mara ko nung kang nag-istorya, mara ko nung kang nakig-halubilo, no, sa imong kaugalingon, deep inside. So, parang teacher-student nga conversation. And then he said that man must stand and live according to his nature and has to look at himself to find what is. Knowledge is necessary because knowledge is necessary because because you will become virtuous, and virtue is necessary because you will attain happiness. And if you're happy, then you're good. So take note of this analogy, no? The logic. Knowledge, if you have knowledge, become virtuous. If you have virtues, you attain happiness. And if you're happy, then you're good. So therefore, if you have knowledge, then you are good. If you don't have knowledge, then you might be doing some evil things. That's why he said, all evil are committed out of ignorance. So ignorance means you don't have knowledge. Ignorante, magkakabaw. Ignorante, magkakabaw. That's why you commit some evil things because you don't have knowledge. Pero good na naman nga, ima siyang ipasakitan kaya huwag kakaibaw. So kung nakaibaw ka, di ka pasakit niya. Diba? So, it's the same story. Now, si Plato siya. And he's one of his students. Diba? Na-mention ako na nag-teach siya sa mga youth. Daka siyang natudloan. Pero si Plato ra ang ni-continue sa iyang legacy. So si Plato, pare-pareha siya o definition sa self-human with Socrates. Yeah, si Plato, nag-create sa siya mga estudyante. Si Aristotle was one of his students. And si Aristotle, magito siya ni padayon dyan. Huwag siya maragkadang ni explore pag-ayo. Idaghan. So, syempre, ika ni Socrates, ika ni Plato. So, si Aristotle, daghan na ka siyang naibawan. Now, what's the difference of Plato and Socrates? Okay, so he believes that self-knowledge is very important. He also believed that because he believed that it's a virtue. But it's not just self-knowledge, but also the social aspect of the human nature. So, kailangan sa natin social aspect. That we are not enough, no, within ourselves. We need other people. That's why we have to interact. And then another addition is that the soul, sakang Plato, is not just a soul, but it has three components: appetitive, the rational, and the spirited. Appetitive, kaning tulo, no, ka-components, appetitive, rational, and spirited, should go hand in hand together, should be in harmony. You should work harmoniously. Kaya kung dili na harmonious, you're no longer happy, then you're no longer good. Therefore, something is wrong. So that's a warning that it is not who you are. It is not your true self anymore. Okay? So, let's try to differentiate the three. What's an appetitive? Appetitive is the part of the soul that is functioning for the pleasures, comforts, physical satisfaction, bodily ease, like drinking, eating, sleeping, and sex. So, imuhang mga gana. Second, the spirited mo niyang imuhang emotional soul. The part that has a feeling. And the third one, a part of the soul that has a ability to analyze, to think, to look ahead, to weigh options, and to measure what is best. So, kumbaga, ang appetitive mo na ang bata, ang spirited mo na ang adolescent, ang rational mo na ang parent. No? So, kanang tulo. So, kanin tulo, paano sila, no? Mag-interplay with a particular decision or behavior. So, dapat magkahiusa din sila sa first. But if dili sila magkahiusa, meaning to say that it is not who you really are, it is not the good self anymore. So, for example, you wanted to eat some food, but so appetitive, no? Appetitive, kay you want to eat. Then, the food can cause allergy to you. So, you are allergenic to that food. So, spirited ni mo, nag-uul ka, and then, your rational soul now comes to play nga. You have to decide. Ganahan tod ka, pero ikaw ang mo suffer kay namang kay mga allergy nga food. Might be it would lead to worse, no? Sakit ka or matay ba ka kay nakuan ka na suffocate, no? Na allergy ka na. So, think na ka, no? So, there's a conflict within. Dili na lang di ko. So, in harmony siya, sige, dili na lang ko, no? Dili na lang ko. So, that becomes who you are. Sana ha? So, there, another example, kanang kay kamo, how sinuyab, no? How come naman, okay na nang how. Pero kanang, muas na ka nga, dahil pwede, karon ano ba? So, you wanted to really have sex, no? With your partner. But sad to say, the partner says, no, I'm not ready because I don't want that to happen with me. So, you feel that guilt, yung hirap ako, the emotion is guilt and you're sad because you're rejected and you come to realize siguro ko niya uyap, kaya gano'n din siya musugot. So that's the reason mo hindi siya turn down ka. It becomes a problem. It becomes conflict within yourself. Okay? So when the ideal state is attained, the human person's soul becomes just and virtuous. So mata ko i-mention ganina, happy ka and virtuous. Then Plato defines self as an intellectual entity whose nature exists independent from the physical world. So kat ang self nato na siya essence. Okay? For example, ang soul. Ang soul. Ang imong soul is ang knife, no? Ang knife na siya sense of essence, no? Sense of essence or essence. Ang essence is for cutting. So, ang knife na siya blade, na siya handle. Diba? So, na blade, na handle para cut. Kung ang knife, dili na hait, it's no longer sharp, na broken iyang blade, it doesn't serve its purpose. Therefore, it's no longer a knife, no? Your essence of being a knife is no longer important. So, similarly with ourselves, that if we do not know what's our essence or what's our sense of purpose, then you're no longer who you are. So, it's necessary that you know your sense of purpose or your essence so that you would really know yourself. And to know your sense of purpose, you have to know better yourself. Okay? That's why wisdom and knowledge. So, to know better, you acquire more information, you get more knowledge from other people. Ask feedback, you observe, you get some assessment tools, and try to introspect. So that's how you get yourself knowledge about you. And because if you have knowledge, you are virtuous. And if you are virtuous, you're a happy person, then you are good. So, nakaka-simple. The next I hear, we have Saint Augustine. So, Saint Augustine, from the name itself, di ba, pari siya. kuan no kanang Santos kay St. Augustine man siya. Katoliko. So it is expected that his philosophy is more inclined to spiritual or religion. He said that human is bifurcated in nature. Saan ang bifurcated, class? Saan ang bifurcated? Joanna? Joanna Lynn? Hello, Joanna? What is bifurcated? Joseph Montalvo.
Bifurcated means divided into two parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So something like branch out, no? There's one stem, ato na lang ni situate like kahoy siya, na siya trunk, yan, na siya ni branch out ng mga stem, o na bifurcated. So ito pa, usata, nga na him na branch out into another one. So, usata meaning we are in commune with God, with the divine. Yeah. Separata, that we are actually godly, we are actually one with God. And that is our goal kuno, is to attain unity with God. Ang ato ang goal here on earth kuno. So ni bifurcate ta, so eventually ang atong na bifurcated nature balik ra na sa iyahang original nga trunk. So mo na ang human ni St. Augustine. Okay. So kanang pag katao nato, we have this body. The body dies when that's the time we get back to God. Okay? And the soul stay in the eternal realm with the all transcendent God. And then we try to practice kuno our godliness. Diba? Ingon sila in the Bible, it says that man is created in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, God is intelligent, God has this intellect, God is the free will. So since we're created in the image and likeness, we also have the free will. Free will means your freedom or your ability to choose to do things that are morally responsible. So we are given the chance to do things for us, but we are expected to do things that are morally responsible actions. And that morally responsible actions will lead us back to our Maker, which is the divine. So in doing things, we do good sometimes, we also do evil things. But in Augustine's context, evil is not labeled as evil, but labeled as lesser good. So the question, we are by nature good, according to St. Augustine. We always choose to do good, but there are times we chose the lesser good. Why? Now, why we chose the lesser good? We chose the lesser good when we allow our passions and desire to rule the soul. Kung ato po nung mga, mo sa appetitive, no? The appetitive soul, mao po ang matuman, mauna nga we choose the lesser good. Ano sa man ta dapat mo choose sa good, no? Kung ang atong reason, mao'y magpatigbabaw. When the reason rules over the passion and desire. So dapat ang ato jung atong analytical, no, ang ato ang conscious, ang rational na soul mo ay magpatigbabaw. So going back to the example, for, let's say ganahan ka og new nga phone, gusto kag iPhone, ganahan jud kag iPhone. So tungod kay ganahan ka, wa kay money, reality check, wala kay money. So, manguhan ka ni mangutang, mangawat, just to have the cell phone. So, the desire to acquire an iPhone rules over. That's why you tend to do like stealing. Mauna nga maging imperfect na ka, no? Imperfect. That's why you choose the lesser good. But when you reason out nga di makupod, di lang ko mga watoy, guwat na lang ko na imuhatag na ko. So that is reason. Okay? Sama na ang self ni Koan, according to St. Augustine. This guy is called René Descartes. So si René Descartes says that the body is nothing else but a machine that is attached to the mind. Tanawa ha? Ingon siya, wala nang body, no? Char-chara na siya. It's just a machine. It's nothing. No, it's not important. But the self is a thinking element. Okay? The self is composed of cogito, thinking, and extensa. Extensa is an extension, the bodily extension. So the body is used for our ability to reason. So for him, the self is the rational being, is a rational being. That's why he created the very famous dictum, I think, therefore I am. What does it mean? I think, therefore I am. It means this is a philosophical conclusion that before we can conclude of something, we have to doubt it first. We have to think it first. We have to gather more information about it first before concluding that you are. Okay, example, ingon kay teka nga. Ingon sila, bayot ko. Anong bayot ka ko? Ganahan man ko mga pambabay. Ganahan ko og laki. Ganahan ko mga butang nga gibuhat sa babay. Akong barkada mga babay. So daghan na kag mga information. Bayot giday ko. Lalaki ako. Lalaki ako. Dili lalaki ako. Lalaki ako. So bayot giday. Therefore, I am homosexual. So before you conclude who you are, you have to think. Pero, guwapa ko. Ano kayo naman kang guwapa ko? Guwapa giday ko. So, no? Ano siya kanang ang i-post ni René Descartes nga sa self nato. So, ingon siya, the existence of self becomes necessary because the self thinks. Because I'm the one doubting, it means that all can be doubted except me. So the self exists in a thinking element. No? Thinking element, not the body. So the self is reason or consciousness. Rason. Okay, so mara igual na to dito. No? So, 10 sila ka philosophers. So we are done with Socrates, Plato, St. Augustine, René Descartes. Now we are in the 5th, John Locke. Si John Locke disagree with René Descartes. Ingon siya, dili thinking element ang atong self, no? Wala na purma sa atong pag-una-una. Wala na napurma sa pag-doubt. Kundili na purma na tungod sa mga ideas. No? Nara siyang ideas na perceived ikan sa gawas, isud sa ilawom through the sense apparatuses or through your bodily apparatus senses. You have the ears, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the skin. So kaning lima, mao ni ang mga bintana, mao ni ang mga avenue for the idea to get inside of us and form part of ourselves. Si John Locke. Kaya he believe that when we were born, we are a tabula rasa. What is a tabula rasa? Empty slate. We are clear. The soul is clear when we are born. And that slate becomes filled in. It's filled in through our experiences coming from the outside world. So the idea comes to us, no? In a form of sense data through our eyes, or ears, or nose, or tongue, or skin. So, muna magpurma sa imong pagkaikaw. And in the same manner, David Hume agree with John Locke, and so with René Descartes. Okay, si John Locke disagree with René Descartes. Si David Hume agree with Rene Descartes and John Locke. So this is David Hume. Ingon siya, yes, that's true. All ideas comes from outside, it gets inside. But not just your own direct experience, ingon siya. Huh? Dili sa imong own direct experience. Like, let's put this into example sa kan John Locke. Like, nga, katila na mo class o kuan, Mariel, hello Mariel, Leanne. Mariel? Tulog
Yes,
na
miss.
Nakatilaw na kag fried ice cream, day?
Wala pa, miss.
Kita na ka?
Yes, miss.
Kadungog na ka?
Miss.
Tanaw ni mo, lami, dili.
Lami, miss.
Tanaw ra, no? Okay. So, since nakakita na ka, so na naka-experience, no? Pero pagkatilaw, wag ka kay bawo kung sa siya. Lami siya tanawon, pero wala ka kay bawo kung lami ba siya kung kanon. So, in that case, naka-idea sa ng fried ice cream, kaya nakakita naman ka. Pero katong wala nakakita, wala sila idea, wala sila knowledge, wala sila na-form pa silang self sa fried ice cream. Now, in the case of David, moto ka dyan lang. Si David Hume, maingon siya nga ka na, dili ra imo ang experience. Experience po sa uban. All experience of the person. Combination siya sa experience of uban. No? So, bundle of different perceptions. Sa ako sa imo. So, ako dahil, nakatilaw na ko dahil dito sa Boracay. So, makaingon sad ko nga, lami siya gid siya. So, sa imong tanaw, lami. Then, sa akong matilawan lami, therefore, makaingon ka nga, ang fried ice cream di ay lami gid siya. So, mo na tong niingon ko nga, ning agree siya ni Descartes, I doubt, therefore I am. Nag-doubt ka nga, lami ba ka na? No? Nakatilaw. Ako, nakatilaw naman ko. Lami man siya para nako. Basta ice cream, lami dyan na siya. Anak kanindot niya ba kay kanang mo siya giputo sugpan bitaw kanang murag pero to hot cake nga kuan nga nya mo siya kanang bari anang pita sa shawarma nang iluto siya giinit crunchy man yung kuan mo bugnaw so yummy siya pero wala na sad ka kadugayan so in that case ni doubt ko lami siya lami gid there mo na I doubt therefore I am so in that manner the agree siya ni Descartes. So usually it's based on impressions or perceptions no, from other people. We do not know the impression of other, but we could hear them saying that. So iyang i-combine, then it becomes your experience. So for example, if ice cube is cold, ang ice cube, para ni mo bugnaw. Ako ba, ang ice cube, di mo na bugnaw. Ang ice cube na siya, ang cube lang yung shape. But may nga, mapalita itong ice cube niya, pero kato na tube, no? Ice tube, katong lingin ba? Or cylindrical. So, di man as ice cube. Yung cube, kay cubes man siya, a shape. Therefore, kita nga, ang ice cube may be cold, may not be cold. So, depende sa experience, so bundle of perceptions. Next guy, we have Immanuel Kant. So, si Immanuel Kant, Ricoconag, no? Dili na siya mo agree ni kuan. Dili siya mo agree nila ni John Locke kay siya dili na bodily experience. It is beyond the body. It is out of the body. So the self, the formation of self is transcendental. It is an idea but not a specific experience. Ito siya. So the self is the seat of knowledge acquisition for all human person. Without it, one cannot organize a different impression. So mura lang siya ka na bang butanganan ba, no? Sudlanan ang self nato sa ato ang mga nahibawan. So it's beyond the experience. Wala, transcendental siya. Transcendental. So if it's out of the body, it means it's transcendental. So body and the qualities are rooted in the self, but self does not mingle with them. Kant uses knowledge apparatus to bridge self and material things together. So the knowledge are the apparatus, dili ang atong mga senses. No, ang knowledge mo yung aparatos, kang dyan lang kay ang sense apparatus, ang katong eyes, ears, those mga yanan. But in the case of Emmanuel Kant, it's the knowledge. It's beyond. Like may ka nga, gwapa ko, ano kayo mong gwapa ka? Itas kag ilong, kay puti, nindot kag ngipon, nindot kag mata. So that's physical. Physical. May manami may mga gwapa siya kay tungod sa iyang gibuhat nga maayo, tungod kay nang hatag siya kwarta, tungod kay kanang mabiyabihon siya, tungod kay kanang polite siya, respect siya, respectful siya ng tao. That is already an idea. That is not physical, but it is beyond the physical quality. So, mana qualities siya, no? Ang kag-Immanuel Kant. So, ideas are what connect us and external world. This means that there is unity. Then we have Paul Churchland. Gilbert Ryle. So, kani si Gilbert Ryle, lahi siya, no? Unique ang iyang idea sa self. Para niya, there's no such self. There's no such thing as the self. The self is not an entity that one can locate or analyze. It is a convenient name. It's a convenient name that people use to refer all behaviors that make. So it's just a label, the I. So for example, where's the university? Tudlo ka. You point at a building. So you say, that's the university. But that's a building. That's not a university. Because a university includes people, student, teacher, library, books, and other things. That's what a university consists of. What you're referring is just a building. Therefore, there's no university. Okay? Why stand alone university? The book is not a university. The teacher is not a university. So, university includes everything. It's just a label, no? So, what you see in a building is not a university. The self is like that. Ingon siya, it's just a concept in the mind. It's just a ghost in a machine. Ghost, no? Ghost. Wala, di kakakita eh. So, look at the machine. Uy, wala. So, it's a day-to-day manifestation of your life, according to Gilbert Ryle. So, he doesn't agree with somebody, he doesn't also disagree. But just for him, self is just a name. Here is Paul Churchland. But here, Paul Churchland emphasizes the physicality of the self. So, ingon siya, the self is composed of mind and body. So, the mind is separate and the body is also another thing. Okay? So, the mind function for the body. Di ba si Rene Descartes, wala bili ang body, mind, rigid. Sa iya bili lo ng body, bili lo ng mind. What's in the mind is in the mind, what's in the body is in the body. So, that's why we need a brain for us to function, for us to think. Okay? Yeah. The brain is important because the brain is a functionality for us to think, to understand things. And understanding things that goes into our mind happens happens quickly and then it changes along the way. No, dili siya permanent. No? For example, you claim that people's common sense of understanding the mind, like it is false ko, no? Like you think that imong uyab buutan, no? Mana imong pagtuo, and then later on na-realize nimo nga ano na kayo mong buutan siya nga iya lagi ko pasakitan, di ba? So iya kong pasakitan. So now there are new evidences, better explanation, then you discover things about him. So your belief nga buutan siya becomes false. No, at first you believe it's true, but later on it becomes false. Some people say nga, ano ka na may mong giuyab nga? Ano man na siya? Adik-adik man na siya. So it becomes an eliminative materialism. So the mind now thinks, and then the body execute, no? Nga, you don't like the person anymore, so bulag na mo. So, mana ang kang Paul Churchland. And lastly, we have Merleau-Ponty. Well, in the case of Merleau-Ponty, ang iyahang idea sa self is holistic. Okay? So, ingon siya, the self is, we are the bodies. We are also the bodily experiences. We are the mind, we are the body, with the rational and irrational. Kumbaga, iyahang gi-consider ang tanang ideas sa philosophers coming from Plato, Socrates, St. Augustine, John Locke, David Hume, Immanuel Kant, Gilbert Ryle, Paul Churchland, o Dave kung kinsa pa tong usa, kaya na ako nalintan nga usa. So, si Kuan, basta, Immanuel Kant, no? So, kani silang ilang mga ideas, iyang gi-combine, mao na ang self, according to Merleau-Ponty. So, ingon siya, inseparable gid ang body, importante ang thought, ang emotion, ang experiences, usara na siya. It's a unity, no? Of body and soul. So, kani ako emphasize that here, the self-knowledge is essentially engaged in the structure and actions of the human world and encompasses all of the diverse intentional orientations of the human life, which includes the tools, the language, the culture, and so on and so forth. So the mind and the self is an integration. Integration, no? Mura siya og communion, mura siya og conglomeration of all. So mao na ang self according to Merleau-Ponty. So dili siya maingon nga kanilang soul lang, kaning kangkuan, kani body lang, kani thinking element. So kinatibuk-an mo na ang self ni Merleau-Ponty. Now, class. Yancy, Dominic, may I ask you something?
Yes, miss.
For you, which philosophy you believe in? Among the 10.
Aristotle, miss.
Nag-discuss itong Aristotle? Ay, natulog ka, oy. Nagdamgo kang Aristotle. Dati kay Aristotle, kaka lang. Nalawan ni naman ni Aristotle ba? Wala man. Socrates, Plato, David Hume, Immanuel Kant. Oh, naa ba? Sige, arita ni Koan. Kim, Eduardo. Kim? Hello, Kim. Asa maimo nga ato nila, ganahan. Which philosophy do you believe in?
Asa to, miss? Ito,
Which philosophy do you believe in? Or who among the philosophers you believe in?
kang Rene Descartes, miss.
Hard. Why?
Kay, man to siya nga, ang God is human is created, compared to God, mao ba to, born with, knowledge mamba, then, through the, higher power.
Free will niya, free will. Kita, we're created in the image and likeness mo to nga natay free will, birth na intellect. So, to ka na.
Yes, miss.
Sige. I presume that you cannot digest everything right away in just a matter of 1 hour. So this is what you're going to do instead. So I would like you to read back my slide. I have posted it already in our Google Classroom, but you need to study them further. Maybe read more books, read more sources about them. And this would be your assignment. And maybe some of you already have submitted. Let me see. Let me check. Okay. Nag-submit na di ay kay na June na din siya. Yeah, 28. Okay. So, nanay nag-submit. Napay unong mawala pa ka-submit. Please do it. Here, nay usa. So nag-compare contrast na day mo. Okay. So good kung nag-compare contrast na katong ang assignment ninyo was to compare and contrast, no? So kung you want to change your answer, pwede ra, no? Akong tagaan ni og extension para sa uban. Today ang atong extension, no? After this. Ako lang taga mo. Kanilang compare and contrast kay mo ni medyo lisod-lisod. Today is April 6. Okay, so karon no ang uban nga wala pa ka submit, pwede ninyong ikuan. Ano ni? Ang kani karon sa DNI. Karon sa ni siya. Okay, so pwede ninyo gamay i-add para ma-improve inyong answer para mas dako mong score. Yeah, i-compare and contrast o sagid ang kalainan. If you notice akong discussion, ako'y mayroon ko nga kanang ni-agree siya, ni-disagree. So, muna inyo ibutang sa atong similarities of differences. Nana ko diha example, no? Socrates, Plato, both of them believes that man is composed of body and soul. Differences is that Plato states that development of self is not enough, but you need others also. So, mana, kalainan nila. And here, katong song. So, katong song, yung i-choose, inyohang inyohang i-relate with the philosophy. So, dapat ba lang ka-submit? Please do so. Okay? Next week, we will have another topic again. Tuesday next week. Holy Week next week. Are we going to meet? Ang holiday kay Kuan man, sugod Wednesday. So, Wednesday afternoon. Dili lang ta mag-meet class. Nalang ko yung activity papasa inyo, ha?
Okay,
Hello.
miss.
Okay.
Okay, miss.
Holy Week, Monday next week. So, nalang ko ipabuhat sa inyo, ha? Yung mga activities. Okay. Wala mo pangutana? Clarifications? Questions? Nasabtan ra to? Ang ato ang philosophical. Isod siya, no? Alam siya, pero kanang simple na ba ito akong may example para dali na ninyo masabtan. Sige, let me check your attendance. Amahan, Maria Erica, please say present if you're around. Erica?